Hi, Paul here with Kinetico Advanced Water Systems up in the Richmond, Virginia office again. I want to give you a little bit more information about what might be going on if you ever experience salty water in your house. There's usually about 4 different things that might be going on that cause salty water if you have a water softener. The most common thing, almost 90% of the time, it's a dirty filter. Something that is keeping enough water going into your softener that it can introduce the salt water as part of its cleaning cycle, but not enough water to get a thorough rinse. So you've still got shampoo in your hair, basically. So check your filter first. That's probably the issue, and that's the biggest culprit. Second most biggest culprit is that there may be something obstructing the drain line. So basically, if water is having trouble getting into the unit, and that's not the problem, then water may be having trouble getting out of the unit through the drain when it's trying to clean. So check your drain line, make sure that it's not frozen, kinked, plugged up, something crazy like that. If it's not one of those two, then it may be something inside the actual control valve of the unit itself that's preventing enough rinse water from happening, and that would have to be taken care of by somebody that's familiar with how to take those apart. But before you go to that level, you got to ask yourself one last thing. If it's a Kinetico system, did you recently try to clean your brine drum or move your brine drum? So I'm sitting here in front of one of our tall, skinny brine drums, and inside it is the brine valve. So this is a brand spanking new one, still has the rubber band on it, but this float that's in here controls how high the water goes in, and the black overflow down below controls how low the water gets. So that is the specific amount of salt water that you're supposed to use, and once this rubber band is removed, it is one of those things that sometimes this float is supposed to be here, and somebody takes it apart. Maybe it's a few years old and the seals aren't quite as tight as they were, and they go to slide it back down inside a tube, which you may not be able to see, but the tube that it goes into resembles this tube here. It is very easy for somebody to slide it down in there, and it gets hung up on one of the nuts on the side, or the overflow elbow, and we see when they're pushing it down, it gets pushed up. See how that happened? And then they free it and it goes down in all the way. Now you got this amount of salt water. So if your unit is pulling in too much salt water, it's not designed to get rid of that amount of salt water. So it could be a brine valve. That's the fourth and really the final thing. The biggest thing you can do to help yourself is to get a reverse osmosis drinking water system and make sure that no matter whatever happens, you're protecting your drinking water. So, because nobody should really have to taste salty water no matter what. Hope that helped. Thanks.